Hi Rachel, how you doing? Okay, I got your work up here, and I read through this a couple of times actually, and I've been looking at the work and taking some time here trying to get my thoughts organized, which I'm ready to go now. The only thing I'm just kind of wishing that you had it submitted a PDF because sometimes it's really nice to open this in Acrobat so that I can zoom in and I can pull guides out and need to if there needs to be any like I like to show alignment and things like that. So food for thought. Anyways, so you've got your two layouts, and addressing your reading, you are exactly correct right here. Your interpretation of the rubric led you to create two very different layouts, and you're exactly right. We don't just change a few things in a layout and call it a new layout. There's a difference between iterations of layouts and brand new conceptual, new layouts. So I think that you've got two pretty good examples here of different layouts. So good job there. Now I'm going to talk a little bit about design, and I'm almost giving this lecture again. I've given this lecture before, and sorry I'm bouncing around on the page here. I'm just reading through as I'm trying to talk, and so. Um, and you're describing a lot of your meaning here, and I, so I just want to do this, okay? I want to start here and say, let's look at the design. Okay, now, as I was saying, I was giving this lecture, this little mini lecture before, and it has to do with simplicity and it has to do with really minimalism and the power of less is more. And the main thing I want to talk about is hierarchy and how you can use hierarchy and how can you use simplicity to really say the same thing that you're saying here in so many different steps. Let me explain that and describe what I'm talking about. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different images that you're using. So you're asking your viewer all in one page to look at 5 different images, okay, and to register those, then to look at this headline, and then to go down here and look at this special, and then to jump over here and look at this location, and then to jump down here and look to see what it's all about. And it's just not going to happen. And I think inside your head, you know that. This one has even more going on because you have these ghosted out images. So you're trying to be too much to everyone. You're trying to let no stone unturned, so to speak, and leave no questions unanswered. Okay? That's not really the way that you want to think as a designer. I want you to start thinking like this, okay? I want to deliver a message, and I want that message to be clear and concise. So I'm going to present it as clearly and as inconcisely as possible. Concisely that's a word, right? I think it is. Yeah, it is. So just checking. Okay, so anyways, how do we do that? And the way we do that is we limit the number of visual stops you're asking your viewer to make. Right now, you're asking your viewer to make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's a dozen visual stops. This one might even have, this one, I'm not going to count it, but you know what I'm saying, okay? So let's do this. Let's just simplify the ad a little bit. Okay, how do we do that? Let's go ahead and do what I like to do and show some examples. So if we jump over here, I've used this example quite a bit. What I suggest the fewer images you use, the better. Okay, because why? Number one is because of hierarchy. The more elements you add onto a page, the more difficult it comes to juggle hierarchy, elements of hierarchy. So this one's pretty easy. The designer's saying, okay, I want you to look at the image first, then the headline, then the subhead, then the type, and then I'm going to leave you at the bottom of the page with the important information on the company and the contact information. And the same thing goes here, but with one image. Note that it's one image. Okay, look, one image. Telling the whole story with one image and some type, as opposed to trying to say so much with so many images. Okay, So stop trying to say, okay, we do this and 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 this, and say, okay, we do this, and we do it very well, and this is what else we do, and put it in with a little bit of type. You know what I'm saying? Some other examples, you'll see this same formula over and over, where you have this image, this headline, and just one or two images. And you can see clearly where someone's using too much. Now, okay, this is getting to be too much. Can you see the difference between this, the clarity and hierarchy of this, and this? I mean, I think it's pretty clear, right? Where did that go? I don't know. I lost it. But anyways, okay. So again, one image, some type, and you can use one image in your ad, and you have your logo and your other type that you can use, and your contact information and your promotion. And also remember that one little clip image that we've been working on, where you separate the image from the background. Okay, so think about that, and think about the whole layout of the message. Now here's one again. I think there's a lot going on here. The difference here is that between this and this is that these images are all very, very closely related. I'm not saying yours aren't, but you've got one building shot, one beach shot, one resort shot, one kind of thing, and then one giant flower in the background, where this has this kind of Tai Chi, spiritual. Same thing here, with some solitude and some peace and serenity in all of the images. Okay, so, but again, here is one with one image, and you can clearly see how one behaves with one image with the type attached. So I want you to think about that, okay? And we can say the same with both images. So this critique will go for both images, okay? So, yeah, so that's technically your file is set up nicely. Everything seems to be working just fine. Your images are handled nicely. Things are placed well. So that's not the issue. The issue, again, of course, is concept and presentation. So, okay, if you have any questions, please feel free to contact me, and I will be glad to describe things further. Okay, thanks very much.